You could win a 2022 Mercedes-Benz GLA 250 and help drive home the Word of God. The GRN is raffling off this night black compact SUV with the luxury and performance you expect from Mercedes-Benz to support the mission of Catholic Radio. This car could be yours for only $25. Buy 4 tickets, you get 1 free. The 2022 GRN car raffle ends February 21st, so get your tickets today at grnonline.com/raffle.
This is Tim Staples of Catholic Answers. I'm excited to let you know that I also teach high school apologetics for homeschoolconnections.com, an online Catholic curriculum provider and a sponsor of this station. There are also recorded independent learning courses at homeschoolconnections.com. Whether you take apologetics with me, literature with Joseph Pierce, or philosophy with Bill Donahue, or any of the other 400-plus courses with homeschoolconnections.com, it's a great way to get Catholic learning for your family.
Mark your calendars. St. Joseph Catholic Church in Richardson invites all adults to its casino night on Saturday, January 29th at 7 p.m. The event takes place at the dining hall and gym held at the parish located on 600 South Jupiter Road in Richardson. The casino night includes an auction, refreshments, and prizes, and is sponsored by the Knights of Columbus and the St. Joseph Women's Guild. For more information, visit josephcatholic.org.
Is your facility in need of additional meeting or classroom space, but there's no room in the budget to add on to the building? I'm Glenn Trahan, owner of Modern Fold Door and Specialties and proud sponsor of KATH 910 AM. Modern Fold Door and Specialties can solve your space division problems by installing operable walls to create additional spaces. We also provide repair and service. You can contact us at 214-357-2572 for a free consultation or trwfamily.com. God bless.
Our Lady of Angels Catholic Church in Allen invites all KATH 910 AM listeners to the Little Rock Scripture Study Series beginning Sunday, January 19th. The theme of the study is the Eucharist in Scripture, which explores the biblical themes of meals shared in faithful fellowship and in covenant relationship with God. Jesus' breaking bread of life discourse and the early church's practice of breaking bread are also explored. The cost is $15 and includes commentary, study, reflection, questions, and prayers, and access to online lectures. Visit OurLadyOfAngels.com to register.
Hello, my name is Bob Parra, owner of Parra Car Care. We're proud sponsors of KATH 910 AM. Parra Car Care is devoted to automotive maintenance and repairs for today's family on the go. Are you looking for that personal touch? Someone who will listen to your problem and give you options that are manageable for you? We now have 2 locations to serve you. For the U.S. area, 817-685-2222. And for the North Richland Hills area, 817-281-1388. We're on the web at www.parracarcare.com. Thank you and drive safely.
Keeping you informed and inspired. Hi, Joe McLean here, host of the Catholic Drive Time, heard Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Central, 7 Eastern, right here on the Guadalupe Radio Network. News and information, Catholic conversation, inspiration, fun, and prizes are involved. Log on to our website to get all the details, to find all the information, the podcast, the videos, and so much more. grnonline.com. That's grnonline.com/CDT. God love you.
Your Odyssey begins at the University of Dallas, the premier Catholic liberal arts university in Texas. With campuses in Irving and Italy, UD's rigorous core curriculum sets it apart. An education rooted in the great works of Catholic and Western tradition. An education that ennobles and enables students in their pursuit of wisdom, truth, and virtue. Undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs available. Start your college odyssey at the University of Dallas today. Go to udallas.edu to learn more. Hi, this is Dave Palmer with a reminder to download the Guadalupe Radio Network app on your smartphone. It's very simple to do, and once you have the app on your phone, you can listen to a crystal clear signal of this station, KATH 910 AM, 24 hours a day, anywhere you are. If you have any questions,
Welcome to Back to the Father, a show about the journey of life focused on our final end, which is God Himself, our loving Father. And now, here's your host, Dave Palmer.
And welcome to this week's edition of Back to the Father here on all the Guadalupe Radio Network social media sites. Welcome. This is a show where we focus on the teachings of St. Thomas Aquinas and his Summa Theologica, and we'll kind of branch off a little bit today and talk about a couple of other philosophers, one who lived a century before and one who lived a century after St. Thomas Aquinas, St. Anselm, and William of Ockham. So welcome. We appreciate anybody who wants to participate in the program. You can either make comments on the social media sites. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and that always kind of drives the show because we love to hear what you're thinking of. And you can also call in if you want to. We don't get many calls, but the phone line is available. Diane would be happy to take your call if you want to call in. The phone number is 877-757-9424, 877-757-9424. And my name is Dave Palmer, and over there across from me is Sissel Anderson. She's our North Texas assistant, and she wears hats. How you doing, Sissel? Good to see you. I didn't mean to kind of... You do more than just wear hats, but that's...
Well, honestly, the whole hats thing works out for a lot of things, because like when we try to explain what my job is, it's like it ends up being like I do a lot of things, so I wear many hats, and I wear many hats. I think I should get that on a business card.
You wear many hats, and you wear many hats.
Exactly. No. Actually, I like to say it better. I wear many hats, and I wear many hats.
Okay, so the first one's in quotes, right? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, you should do that. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be. That should be. Can I ask, like, for my title to be changed to the one who wears many hats?
Yeah, she wears many hats, and she wears many hats.
Exactly.
I like that. Very good.
Anyhow.
Okay, that's a beret. Kind of a fuzzy little beret.
I would like to know if anyone knows, because in my quick Google research, that was a very deep Google research, I could not figure out exactly why it is that usually people wear it on one side. So if anyone has any answer to that, love to hear it. But other than that, it's a beret I found actually at the Christ Child Market here in the DFW area that benefits a pro-life group, the Catholic pro-life community. And I saw it on the table. It was like $2, and I'm like, yep, that's coming with me.
It's all mine. Yeah, $2, best $2 you ever spent. And I want to say that Sissel flew out to Birmingham, Alabama, Monday evening for a very special purpose. And she's going to be on EWTN coming up. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So I was really blessed to be able to go out to EWTN and do an interview with Father Mark Mary, who hosts Life on the Rock, which is his show. And along with some of the other brothers, I think they kind of alternate who hosts it and stuff like that for like a little 15-minute interview to talk about discipling young people, because I lead a discipleship group at my parish with another lady of 8 girls, and we meet every week basically all the way through high school. So really cool, and I was blessed to be able to go on and talk about that. We also did a podcast that'll come out eventually. I'm not really sure when, but the show is going to come out next Sunday. That's the 23rd at 8 p.m. Central Time on EWTN. So if you want to see it then, I probably will not be tuning in myself, because that's my family will be. I'll be in the other room.
Critical.
Yeah, because like I already. I don't know if it's better to like see it and have it be better than you thought or worse than you thought it was, or just to continually think about and try to remember what you said to all the questions.
You could be like, I crushed it.
I crushed it,
totally
and I crushed it, and I could just stay like that. But if I watch it, I'll be like, I did not crush it.
Yeah, you always want to leave a little bit of room for improvement.
Yeah,
always. If possible. Don't be perfect.
And I left a lot. No, I'm joking. Okay. And then so it was a lot of fun.
All right, that's Sissel, and right behind her, kind of blocked, is Diane Xavier. She's the one that is running the board and answering calls. And again, if you want to call in, 877-757-9424. And over here, once again, we have, you guys were both here last week, right? No. Sam was not here last week. Jonathan was doing solo duty. We have our 2 boy wonders, seniors in high school, homeschoolers. And they're pretty bright guys. Jonathan von Weber-Hansberg to the right, Sam Cavanna to the left. All right, left, right. So how you guys doing?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Sam's still trying to figure out the left-right thing. Okay, by my perspective.
Poor Sam, I just realized, because he was gone last week, he's getting slightly cut off by the camera. So hang on a second.
I can
I was kind of wondering.
There we go. That's better.
All right.
There we go.
Now everyone can
Now,
see
Sam, this might be one of your last times with us, or you okay?
We'll see how things go. I have to figure out if I can do this and school. So
This is clearly more
Exactly.
More important
than school.
Yeah, you found greener
Clearly.
pastures, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Jonathan, on the other hand, he's never leaving.
No, I'm
he's,
living
he's
here
with
now.
us for the.
Yeah, I moved into the closet actually back there.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't tell you guys, but I thought it'd be a surprise. you know?
Okay.
Those are the noises I've been hearing.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, good to have you guys with us. And as I mentioned, we are going to be talking about a couple of scholastic philosophers. Now, when you think of scholastic philosophy, what comes to mind? Does that mean anything to you? What's scholasticism, and who are some of the great scholastic philosophers? Anything come to
Great
mind?
question.
St. Thomas Aquinas.
Well, yeah.
Oh, ding, ding. Good
Thank
answer.
you. By the way, you were
Yes,
not
very
here,
good.
Sam, to be humiliated last year because Jonathan and I both kind of suck and we don't remember what era Thomas Aquinas lived in.
No,
Oh,
I
yeah. Was
remember.
that the century, you mean?
That was the century. You got
Yeah.
it wrong at first. Too.
Oh, I feel like
Well, okay.
Well, let's put
Well,
Sam on the spot. What century
yeah,
did
Sam.
Thomas Aquinas live? And this is the guy that's like the trivia king,
I don't know.
right?
I don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't
13th
ready
century.
for it. 13th
Yeah,
century.
Yeah, 13th century.
That's
So
good.
scholasticism would have basically been, you'd have the Greek Hellenistic time with, Socrates and Aristotle and Plato and all those Greek philosophers. And then you had this almost like a period, then you had Augustine in like the 4th and 5th century. There wasn't a whole lot going on. And then the works of Aristotle and Plato were discovered and rediscovered. And then you had this like outflow of people trying to incorporate both Islam and Christianity into Greek philosophy and trying to see where the differences were and where they agreed. And that was kind of like the scholastic age. And that was Aquinas and Anselm and Ockham and, people like that. So I think roughly, 1,000 to 1,500 might be the scholastic age, those 500 years. So pretty big period of time that it covers. So before we do that, let's do Away a Day. Okay, so Away a Day, we only have one picture, but this one is kind of got an interesting story. Jonathan has a story. It's a little weird. I don't know. I don't know if we should. It's almost too weird to say the story, Jonathan. I'm going to be honest
almost
with
too
you.
weird. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me go first, and then.
We'll
all
see
right,
if the people watching
we
want
can
to
give
hear the
we can
weird
give a basic
story.
rundown of it.
Guess, you'll never guess this, but guess where this came from, this picture. These are 3 dragonflies, and they apparently all decided to land on 3
Did you take this picture, Dave?
buds next to each other, and they all
It's
just
avoiding the
happen to be
question.
looking straight at the camera, and they're just the cutest little things. The guy in the middle's got his wings perfectly aligned, and no, I did not take the picture.
I was going to say, man, you could
good
submit
picture,
this to like
that'd
a...
be like Pulitzer.
yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
you could win some money with this picture.
No, you can see like in the top right where it's clearly cut off, and it's a picture. I was over at my son's therapy center this morning, and I was feeling a little guilty because I haven't done anything in Away a Day for a while, and I see this on the wall. And I walk in, and I'm talking to these ladies there, and I pull out my camera, and I just was like, I've got to take a picture of this. This is such a cool picture. But kind of broke the rules because Away a Day is supposed to be something that you personally, experienced in your life. But it was just too good to pass up. And isn't that an amazing picture? Mm-hmm. Yeah, boy. Whoever took that was on the ball. They probably have a very, very good camera, too. All right. Jonathan, do you want to tell your story? Or
I can give a very basic.
Keep it G-rated.
Yeah, I'll keep it G-rated.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's not really bad, okay?
Really, really weird, that we have to keep this G-rated. Okay.
So, in essence, one of my hens has become broody, which means that she is laying eggs. I don't know why, because it's the winter. So she's laying eggs, and because I have been recently I've been chasing after my rooster and picking him up and putting a crow collar on him, keep the noise level down, I think that the hens have sort of got the idea that I am the alpha male. So one of my...
They're mistaking you for the rooster?
mistaking me for the rooster. So one of my hens seems to have fallen in love with me, and I will leave it there. You can use your imagination.
I don't want to.
I feel like that was worse than...
I think you should have stopped at you can leave it there. So that's exactly where I'm leaving it, okay?
All
so
right,
so
sounds
thank
good.
you. But, I guess that's a good thing. It's good to be appreciated
Yeah, exactly.
by your hens, okay? And so that's all that. And I'm going to put an image up on the screen that I used last week. Now, Sam didn't see this last week. And I'll put you guys on the spot once again.
Oh,
I've
boy.
got all these philosophers.
Oh, watch as like
and,
Jonathan and I don't remember any of
how many,
this.
other than, St. Thomas Aquinas is like labeled. And
There's
so
I know
you
Why
should be
can't
able
she
to-
gotten pictures of everyone that was labeled?
Okay. So how many of those do you recognize? And those of you watching at home, we did this last week, so don't, if you were watching last week, you probably know the answer to at least most of them. But Sam, do you recognize any of these gentlemen?
Who's that one, Sam? I don't know.
I know.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I don't.
Okay, so basically from top left going across, you got Socrates, you got Plato, Aristotle, Aquinas, William of Ockham, who we're going to talk about today, René Descartes. Next row, you got John Locke, David Hume, and then down, again, the guy that looks like George Washington, Immanuel Kant, and then Hegel's the guy that looks very uncomfortable.
He looks like Scrooge. Didn't we determine
Jean-Paul
that?
Sartre, Friedrich Nietzsche, and then the two that we talked about last week was Bertrand Russell and Ludwig Wittgenstein.
Whenever I
Okay.
see the Wittgenstein guy, I always think his name is Hasselhoff for some reason.
Hasselhoff?
Not like David Hasselhoff?
David Hasselhoff,
Like
the guy from
these-
Baywatch?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. It's just a German-sounding name, and it's
No,
always a
to
German
me,
name.
it looks like a police mugshot, like a guy that just got arrested for breaking into a store or something. He doesn't look
true.
happy at all. All right, so here's the next slide. These are the two that we're gonna talk about today. Saint Anselm. Remember, Aquinas lived in the 13th century. Anselm mostly lived in the 11th
That's a
century.
magnificent picture. He just
It
looks
is.
very mighty in that picture.
Yeah, it wasn't an actual picture though. I think it was a painting.
Well, okay, I was
Yes,
using
Cecil.
Okay, wow,
Yes, Cecil.
I thought that was a suit.
I don't think cameras were.
You know what?
Yeah, well, it's a great picture though. He looks very regal.
I was gonna say portrait was what I meant to say. It was a
Yeah.
great portrait because that could be a picture or a painting. But
Well, it is
So-
technically a picture.
very
but-
magnificent.
How much familiarity do any of you have with these two gentlemen? I mean, does a name mean anything to you? Is there any familiarity? Let me throw that out to the audience as well, those of you who are watching. Do you know anything about St. Anselm and William of Ockham? And what they may have to do with, agreeing with Aquinas? Well, now, one of them lived after Aquinas, so Aquinas wouldn't have been able to refute him directly. But Aquinas did comment on Anselm and his ontological argument. Do you remember that? Okay. Well, see, that's a good thing because you're going to learn about it today, right?
Our
We're gonna all learn-
retention is not great.
We're going to all
here.
learn about Anselm's ontological argument, and also when it comes to William of Ockham, Occam's razor. You heard of that?
Heard of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Heard of it.
Jonathan said there's
very
a
sharp.
barber shop named
Yeah, in
Occam's
Anna, there's
razor.
a barbershop.
In Anna,
yeah.
really?
I know the guy
Really?
who runs it. He's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
He named it Occam's razor.
Occam's razor. Yeah.
You should
gotta
ask. You
a-
should
gotta
ask him
ask
sometime.
about
Yeah.
that.
I should. Yeah.
You gotta ask
Like,
him.
do you know anything about William of Ockham?
There's no
or-
way he didn't do that without knowing.
Yeah.
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 Unless it's a family name, like Occam.
That's not
Yeah,
Occam. No,
'cause
I know the guy. He's
You'd
not.
have to know the background because you have to make sure it isn't something really bad or, what exactly are we doing this. So that's your homework. Between now and
All
next
right.
week, will you go ask him?
I will. Yes.
Okay. And how does he spell Occam? Because there's people spell it different ways.
It's O-C-A-M, I think. Occam, like that.
Just 4 letters?
Yeah.
Occam? Okay.
Weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of spelling. All right. and then-
Buddy says that Saint Anselm. I always say his name wrong. I say how do you say
Anselm.
it? Anselm.
St.
Yeah,
Anselm.
Anselm.
I think I started saying I just said it wrong the other day. And the allegory of the pearl. That is it. That's what
Oh,
he said.
really? Buddy said, I've never heard of that. Buddy will have to tell us about that. I'm not familiar with the allegory of the pearl. But, all right. So Occam was problematic, okay? The church did not like Occam too much because some of his teachings were contrary to really the more kind of authentic church teachings. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. He also was one of the fathers of Nominalism, okay, which is problematic. So let's get right into it and talk about Senor Anselm. Okay, so you see they got the screen up here. He's an 11th century Italian philosopher and bishop. He also was the Archbishop of Canterbury, which I believe is in England, right? Okay, so he's Italian, but then he ends up being an archbishop in England from 1093 until when he died in 1109. Influenced by Plato and Aristotle, and he desired to prove God's existence through reason and not just authority. Okay, so he didn't want to rely just on, the church says God exists, so the church God exists. He came up with what's called the ontological argument for God's existence, and that is that God is that which nothing greater can be thought of. Okay, I said though of, but it's actually thought of. That's a mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, so that which nothing greater can be thought of. That's what he said, that's God. And that's the ontological argument. Okay, so here, let me read something. You tell me if it makes sense. Okay, so if you were to try to prove that God exists and not just say the Bible says he exists. Well, how would you prove it? What would you say?
Ooh, okay. Well, we're just going straight in there, are we?
Yeah. We're going right in there.
Hitting it.
Any
So you said without the Bible,
yeah.
how would you prove that God's? I mean, we talked about with St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah, I mean,
the what is it? The something of motion.
First mover?
Yeah.
Yes,
that
that
kind of deal?
that
Yeah.
kind of
That's the
thing.
most persuasive.
I
Yeah.
think that's the most persuasive. Agreed.
Like nothing.
I actually have his. So we'll put those up on screen, okay? Here are Aquinas' 5 proofs.
oh yeah.
And now here's the big question. What's the difference? Because Aquinas didn't like Anselm's ontological argument.
Okay.
So what's the difference between Aquinas' 5 proofs, which obviously Aquinas liked, and so did Aristotle, and Anselm? How did they go about it differently, proving God's existence? And this is probably the keyest part. I wonder if Buddy knows this. Does Buddy out
I'm
there?
really curious.
Not to
I
put
wanna
Buddy
know.
on any kind of pressure, or not to put pressure on him, but so do you remember when we talked about Aquinas' 5 proofs? They were all through observation. Okay, so he starts off saying we see that things move. Okay, and then we know that something can't move itself; it has to be moved by something else, right? And then he says, okay, we see that there are causes and effects. All right. He says we see that there are some things in the world that are only possible because Sam and the bird outside and the tree at some point didn't exist, and so they're only possible. They're not necessary because there's some time they didn't exist, right? And then he says we see that some things are more perfect than others, and then we also see that things are moving in particular ways. So it's all through observation,
Right. So
but Anselm's wasn't.
It was reason.
Anselm was strictly through reason, and it
Okay.
wasn't through observation.
Interesting.
Okay. So why is this important?
Because
Okay.
you need both.
Yeah, but Thomas didn't think so.
Oh, he didn't?
Okay, so let me.
He thought you could do it by observation
Oh.
alone, right?
Yeah, only through observation.
Well, it's true. Yeah. Yeah.
But then Descartes comes along, and he's going to be in the 17th century, and he's going to say, "I think, therefore I am." So Descartes' more kind of Ockham, I guess, in a sense, because he's saying, "I don't need observation. I know I exist strictly through my mind. Like all I need is I don't have to use any sense experience. All I have to do is the fact that I'm thinking, I exist." Okay, so it's called dualism. It's separating the mind from matter, right? So our body and our mind are two different, like kind of species or things all together. That's what Descartes did. All right. So this is Anselm's argument. You tell me if it makes sense. Okay. He says it would be a contradiction to suppose that God is on the one hand something than which nothing greater can be thought of, and on the other hand does not exist.
Okay, I never thought I'd say this, but I miss Aquinas. Can we go back to how he explains things?
You like him better? You think he's easier to understand?
That sentence was not the easiest thing to understand.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the simplified version, though.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, what
John.
is
Okay,
it?
so basically, it's that. Okay, hold on a minute. Wait. Okay.
You're doing great, John.
Thank you. Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, so what it is that, there. Okay, wait, hold on a minute. No, okay. There is you can imagine a perfect highest being, and that if you can imagine that, it has to exist. I think is that what it was. But the fact that a perfect, the highest form of creation, not creation, but the highest being has to exist in reality, but because you're thinking about it, you're bringing it into reality. I think that's kind of what he was
That's some
saying.
Doctor Who
Right.
business going on there.
But
Like,
the very fact that you're thinking about it, it must exist.
Exactly. Yeah.
but,
Okay,
but
see, that's
unicorns.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, now listen to this, because you're on the right track there, Sissel. Because and then he said, okay, so let me read that sentence again. This makes Sissel long for Aquinas. Okay, he says, for it would be a contradiction to suppose that God is on the one hand something than which nothing greater than can be thought of, and on the other hand does not exist, which I think is exactly what Jonathan just said. That if you can consider that, then it must exist. And that's kind of Descartesian, that if I think, therefore I am. Okay, if I think of something.
I am not a highly intellectual level person, but in my opinion, that there's a lot of flaws going on there in that sentence.
Okay,
Is that
well,
just me?
Okay, well, the next
No?
sentence, okay? He says, for a God thought of that does not really exist is not so great as one thought of that does exist. And since one can clearly think of God and suppose he exists, then something than which nothing greater can be thought of must be something that exists. Okay, now here's where you're coming with your unicorns, okay, Sissel?
Yeah.
One of his great opponents was a guy named Guanilo. And he says, where is it? Okay. He said that Anselm's reasoning, if it were correct, then one could conceive of a lost island that was the most perfect island there could ever be. And since by definition the island is the most perfect, it must exist, for by Anselm's reasoning, it would be no less perfect if it did not. Okay, so just because I can think of an island that would be like the best island in the world doesn't mean it exists, right?
Okay. But wait, I don't...
He doesn't have to talk that fancy. He could dumb it down a little bit.
There's a dialogue that Anselm used. So so Anselm in his book where he's talking about this actually had a dialogue with what he called a fool. Okay, so
all right, no need to call names, right? Because I'm struggling.
I'm not calling you a fool, so this is the dialogue that Anselm held. Okay, so will you play not the fool, but play the person? Okay, so Anselm says, do you agree that if God existed, he would be the greatest thing that there could be, that than which nothing greater can be thought? Would you agree with that?
Yes.
That if,
I don't think a fool would be able to understand what he's saying.
Okay, so but he's saying that if God did exist, he would be
the greatest thing.
The greatest thing you think of, okay? And then...
I feel like a kindergartner.
Then Anselm says, and do you agree that than which nothing greater can be thought exists in your mind?
Again, please.
Okay, do you agree that than which nothing greater can be thought exists in your mind? Can you think of that? Like that which nothing greater can be thought of. Can you conceive of that in your mind?
No.
You can't. You can't think of the greatest thing that possibly could be, that concept. You can't think of that?
Wait, are we talking about God again? I'm kind of confused. Are we just talking about in general?
Just a general thing. Yeah.
Can I think of the greatest thing ever?
Yeah, like the greatest thing that you could possibly think of, like that concept, like nothing could be greater. Can you think of that in your mind?
I don't know. I'm really confused.
You broke her. Jonathan, can you think of that?
Okay.
I was going to say
I think you
but...
can.
Okay.
But unless we're talking about God, which would be infinite, are you talking about can we fully comprehend it, or can we just conceive of something?
Yeah, because that's what I'm getting confused by. Is
just kind of conceive of the idea.
Okay, then
in your mind.
Sure.
Okay, you're going to play along, all right?
Why not? No, I want to break St. Anselm.
So the fool says, yes, in my mind, but not in reality. So you can think of it, but you still don't think it exists.
Okay.
Right? And then Anselm says, but would you agree that something that exists in reality as well as in the mind is greater than something that exists only in the mind?
So something that exists in reality and the mind is greater than only something in the mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you say yes. And then the guy says, yes, I suppose so. An ice cream in my hand is better than one that is just in my imagination.
He's talked about ice cream?
See? Now all of a sudden you're interested, aren't you?
Okay. Did he actually say ice cream?
He did.
Wow.
He did. Yeah.
They had ice cream back then?
Look at that. It's right there. They didn't have Bluebell or something, but they had ice cream. Okay, so now.
Yes.
Nice.
So if that than which nothing greater can be thought exists only in the mind, it is less great than if it existed also in reality. So the ice cream, if
in
it was
my brain
only
is
in
not
your
as
mind,
good as the one in my hand. And
yeah,
in my
right.
mind.
In reality, okay.
Okay.
So if I think of a dinosaur in my mind, a real dinosaur would be better than just my mind, right? Okay. Okay. So the fool says that's true. The being that really exists would be greater. So now you're saying that there is something greater than that which nothing greater exists. See where he's going here?
No. Wait, but he's not actually proving that God is. He's just saying that, God exists and he's greater than the thing in your brain.
The concept in your mind of that which nothing greater can exist He's saying, so now you're saying there's actually something greater than that.
I see.
Because now it was in your mind, but now you're saying, if it was in reality, it would be greater. So
Okay.
basically, you've contradicted yourself.
Okay.
Because now there's something greater than that which something greater can be thought of.
It's just gotcha philosophy.
This is still on the ice cream. Okay.
I'm still, yeah.
Okay, so that's basically the ontological argument, okay?
But wait, no.
That's
But
very.
It didn't prove God.
Yeah, that's the thing is like those kind of arguments like that are. This is why I have
A hard time.
I've had a greater love for St. Thomas Aquinas in the last few months because he actually makes it in a level that like it's harder to disprove because when you get into these kind of mind games, there's a point where you just get into a circle with yourself, I think.
Yeah, and that was more of the sort of like aha, I'm right and you're wrong. You're an idiot.
Yeah,
but at least to get you thinking.
It does. No, it does.
it does.
I'm not, sorry, St. Anselm.
It's a
Still
mind
pray for me.
exercise.
Still pray for me.
No, I mean, okay, let's see. Can you think of the greatest vacation you could possibly take? I mean, does that concept even like? I mean, it doesn't even have to be. I'm on the beach and I've got there's a dolphin. But just the idea of the greatest vacation you possibly could have. I mean, could that concept in your mind exist?
No, it couldn't.
No.
No, because I want to go back in time.
But you can come up with the concept in your mind.
I can, but it can't be reality.
But it does bring up the point though. If you are, let's just say you are brought up in the wilderness in the middle of nowhere, away from society, can you come up with these concepts in your head of the greatest vacation? Would you even know what a vacation is? You know what I mean?
Would it be the greatest meal then, or something like that, or the greatest harvest, or the greatest hunt?
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but I mean, even if it's just like a intellectual exercise, that could be kind of cool. So
Certainly an exercise for my brain.
Here's a little explanation that I found online. It says, in short, St. Thomas Aquinas believes that all rational knowledge can only be gained through sensory experience. Studying the world shows us the essential nature of things. We must strive for our highest good, believe in Christ as our salvation and as our protection in heaven on earth. So Aquinas, I think you would be more of a Thomist than an Anselmian. Okay,
That's
because
a weird name.
Yeah, I just made that up. I don't think anybody talks about Anselmians. Okay, so. All right,
Thomas gang.
Are you ready to move on to William of Ockham?
Real quick, let me just got a couple of comments.
Not a moment too soon, right?
Yeah. A couple comments. Want to go back to Victor on YouTube had said, yes, we can think that when we were talking earlier, when we were doing the little role play thing, when I was hesitating, I think. And then Buddy said, St. Anselm, Anselm. I keep saying Slem, like with an L, switching the L and the E around.
And by the way, the email that you sent out, you said Anselm.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So that's in your head, isn't it?
It is. I said that in the email.
You didn't say it. Yeah, you wrote it.
I wrote it wrong? I was going to say, I copied and pasted what you wrote.
Okay, yeah, but
I just played my hand there. I don't actually write those emails, guys.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay. To be fair, you don't want me to write those emails because I have no idea what I'd be saying. Anyhow, use the dirty pearl as an example of the soul and how before the pearl can go into the box, it has to be clean. So Jesus must clean the soul before getting to heaven.
Is that Buddy?
Yeah. Talking about purgatory, I think, the idea.
Now, what is he? You talking about Anselm or Ockham? Or okay, interesting. All right, let's talk about Ockham. Ockham might be a little easier to understand, but at least now, if somebody were to come up to you at Walmart and say, "Hey, do you know what the ontological argument is?"
Like, oh yes,
I'll just be like, and goodbye.
I say, do you have 30 minutes? Because I want to talk to you about this.
I would say, watch Back to the Father.
Ontology is the study of being. Being or existence, right? So that's why it's called the ontological argument, because it's the argument for the existence of God using mind only and not sensory experience. All right. So let's move on to William of Ockham, and we got a shot here of him. And you might be saying, Dave, why do you have a frog on the bottom of the screen? Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. You're wondering that, as is everybody else watching. Okay. English Franciscan friar, scholastic philosopher. He is considered a religious and political maverick. He was called before a papal commission in Avignon back in 1324. The church had some issues with some of the things that he taught. He's best known for the famous Occam's razor, which states that entities are not to be multiplied beyond necessity. Okay? And he's also famous for his belief in nominalism, that universals only exist as part of human understanding. In reality, everything is singular. All right? Clear as mud, right?
Yeah.
So let's do...
we didn't explain the frog.
Oh yeah.
no, the frog is coming. So let's.
Oh wait, I think I might know what it's for.
Okay,
right.
so Occam's razor says entities are not to be multiplied beyond necessity. Now, this is actually a really famous thing, okay? But Jonathan and I were talking about this earlier today. We're like, it seems like so simple.
Dumb. I mean,
Yeah, okay, so
no offense, but
the principle reflects the idea that given two theories that equally explain the data, one should choose the theory which posits the minimum number of entities. Okay.
Wait, what? Can we please
Okay.
explain that again, please?
Okay, the principle reflects the idea that given two theories that equally explain the data, one should choose that theory which posits the minimum number of entities.
Are we saying that the simplest explanation, is that what it's saying?
Yeah, the simplest way. Okay.
He just said. He just.
he did not use the simplest way of
I was going to say
explaining.
that was.
That was not. That could have been explained
Yeah,
simpler.
because when he said entities, I was thinking about humans and like living things, and I was like, are we
Yeah.
talking about overpopulation
No.
for a second?
Why postulate two things when one will do? Or as Occam is said to have put it, it is in vain to do with more what can be done with fewer. But it just sounds, to me, it just sounds like common sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
I don't think we needed a whole name for that.
Yeah.
He came up with
But you
like,
got it. But it's been extremely influential in philosophy. And he's influenced a lot of things.
he just wanted something named after him. in
Simplicity is
philosophy.
always preferable where possible. Okay, it says it is also strongly adhered to today in both scientific and philosophical theory building, despite being difficult to justify rationally. All right, now this also leads into nominalism. And this is what I mainly want to talk about. Nominalism is held that universals only exist as part of human understanding, and in reality, everything is singular. Okay? Universals only exist as part of human understanding. In reality, everything is singular. Okay? So words like species, redness, or even man, which name a range of objects that are united by some common form or feature, are purely inventions of the human understanding.
Oh, I have a question.
Okay.
I have a friend who he always tells me to. I think it's just because he wants to sound all cool and smart. It was like, actually, there's no happy or sad things. It's all just our perception of the world, and that nothing is objectively good or bad or happy or sad. Would that count as nominalism?
I don't know. That sounds more like
or subjective.
that
or
sounds more
relativism?
like phenomenology or something. I don't know. I don't think so. But let me explain the frogs. Okay. So
thank
you
you.
see clearly there's a frog on the screen, right? Everybody sees that. And now we'll go to the next one. And now, what is that? That second one there. Do you see that?
frogs.
You think that's a frog also?
I
It's a
would say
tree
that is a
frog,
frog.
isn't it?
Okay. And then we go to the third one. Would you say that's a frog also?
That is also a frog.
Okay. Now, Occam, from my understanding, would say that's one thing, that's another thing, and that's a third thing. But we can't have these universals, frogness, because we can't see frogness. We only see three individual things, and so it's not right to kind of group them together because clearly they're not the same thing.
I don't think the frogs care.
I don't,
saying.
I don't know if he caught care of the frogs.
They probably do.
But it's problematic. Okay, so why would this be a problem?
Well, wouldn't that separate the Trinity then?
And also man.
Well, gosh, I don't know. I've got this thing that I got from Catholic.com that's not all that long that I can read. But
Okay.
let me see. Do we have any? Okay, that's the last slide. But does anybody have any comments out there in social media land?
Is anyone confused? We are a place of no judgment here. I am on the
Are
show.
you
so
confused?
Confused train.
Okay, so why does it matter? Why was he brought before a papal court? Because he doesn't. Now, remember we did the show on Plato, and Plato had
Right.
the universals.
Yes.
So if Plato saw 4 trees, he would say there was like a universal treeness, and that these things only participate in the universal treeness.
I got
right?
it. That then it would wait. Hold on. Wait. So
Very
that
confident.
would
Starting out.
You had the.
the clap. So it would mess with nature. I'm assuming like a human nature, or like your turkeyness kind of deal, or a god, or also wait, hold on.
I'm not sure if
I'm losing it. Hold on, wait a minute. So I initially was going to say something like it would mess with universal truths.
Okay.
And that would,
exactly.
So
you're on it, okay?
Yeah.
Because if there's no frogness, there's also no truth, and there's no
Good or
beauty,
bad.
and there's no justice, and because these are all universals, right? Because justice can be carried out. If I help an old lady across the street, or if Sam feeds the homeless, or if Jonathan, whatever, helps
he couldn't even
helps
promise
his
anything.
chicken. These are all justice, but Ockham would say those are all just individual actions. There's no overriding concept, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I read this and tell me if this helps you, okay? Or if it makes it more confusing.
Could make it more.
Nominalism is a theory that universal abstract ideas such as truth and goodness do not exist because they are not founded upon objective reality. It holds that the words we use for such concepts are merely convenient labels and that reality cannot be perceived by every human mind through the use of such labels. There are no universals. Okay? There's no frogness. There's no turkeyness. There's no justice. There's no
Goodness.
truth. There's no goodness. There's only good. There's little good individual things, but there's no
But overall, good.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait. So now, so if he was a Franciscan and he believed in God, how'd that affect it? Was he trying to create his own heresy, or did he?
Well,
just,
let me go on to the next
Wait.
paragraph because maybe it'll explain this. Okay, I've already read this once before. Okay, so let me read it. Complex as it may seem, nominalism has implications for religious faith. If there are no universals, then we cannot really know God, nor can we know about the nature of grace or sin in our lives. Can you see grace? Okay, that's me talking. Can you see sin? Okay, I mean, we can't see it, right? Or we can say, oh, that's a bad action, but there's not a universal concept of sin. We cannot know where we stand with God as God himself acts arbitrarily. His acts lack an objective nature and do not correspond to human reason. We therefore cannot reliably use reason or logic to discern good and evil, justice from injustice, and therefore we cannot freely and reliably choose what is good. Martin Luther and John Calvin were heavily influenced by nominalism and its leading proponent, William of Ockham. To different degrees and in opposition to 15 centuries of Catholic thought, they limited the utility of reason in discerning truths of faith and relied instead upon subjective experience and interpretation. Their progeny is the tens of thousands of Protestant denominations, splinter groups, and other independent, non-denominational churches we have today. Another fruit of nominalism and its rejection of universals is one of the great errors of our time, moral relativism, the denial that any moral absolutes exist.
You know
See
what?
the problem?
Yeah, I could see that. I was gonna say this definitely relativism started. And also now that you mentioned about Martin Luther and all that, I was like, oh yeah, I remember we studied William Ockham when I was Protestant. That was a thing.
So doesn't turkeyness mean more to you now?
Turkeyness is very important. Gotta hold on to our turkeyness, guys.
Exactly. They can't take away our turkeyness.
By the way, FYI, Kevin is in the chat saying hello, and also David L. Gray is in the chat and he says there are no universals except that there are no universals.
Whoa. David's getting deep on us.
Mic drop
Wait,
there.
Yeah, there are no universals except there are universals.
Except for the universal that there are no universal.
I'd be
Isn't that just
interested
saying-
if David's if he's still around. Is he familiar with this whole concept of nominalism? Because I think David's a guy that
I think we were talking, yeah.
he's done his homework and he's studied the faith and all that. Convert, right? I think he used to be and he wasn't always a Catholic. Sam, you're being awful quiet. Does this stuff make sense to you? Future college
honestly,
student?
yeah. No, not completely. But I don't know.
You're just absorbing the knowledge.
I'm
so.
absorbing the knowledge, I think. That's what I'm trying to do.
'Cause, I mean, I think he would say if you can't see it and experience it, then it's only one individual thing. We can't put these categories on it. Like we're all human beings in this room. No, that's Sissel, that's Sam, that's Jonathan, this is Dave, and that's Diane. Why do we need to categorize and have some term that we can't see? It doesn't seem to make sense because Sam's clearly a lot different than I am, and he's different than Jonathan. So So he throws out universals.
Interesting.
That's
Which
a
is
problem.
It's very also separating of people too. If you do something like that, I don't know. It just makes everything like you don't have any commonalities.
Yeah.
Like being Anyhow, interesting. David also says, I am familiar with nominalism. It's the only way to understand Luther. LOL.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and I read that. I still don't quite understand. You seem to kind of perk up when I talked about Luther. What does that mean? Because Luther comes along. And I don't remember him talking about universals or that kind of thing. What does that have to do with breaking away from the church or,
Well, I guess when you're starting to go on that idea of no universals is that you can start making your own, to an extent. You can start, I don't know. It's weird. It just goes along. It's been a while since I've studied that, but when I was in high school, we did a lot of Sunday school classes on these sort of topics that I mostly tuned out, clearly. But it does kind of remind me about how the Protestant church was started and how everything kind of just went downhill from there, and separation.
What my hope is that if we study some other philosophers, like on this show going forward, it all kind of starts to come together, because it's like you can't understand Marx without understanding Hegel, all right? It's hard to understand Nietzsche without understanding Schopenhauer, and so these philosophers were all familiar with each other. A lot of them studied with each other. Bertrand Russell, his student was Ludwig Wittgenstein.
Wow.
And if you, like I said last week, if you study the modern philosophers, they're almost all talking about linguistics. Well, they're all studying together. They had this thing called the Vienna Circle, which were a bunch of Austrian philosophers that I think would actually get together and around a coffee shop or something to talk, and so they all bounce stuff off each other, and so you have to understand them all. So if you can just kind of lock in Anselm and Ockham into your head, what little we can remember about it as we go on, it'll all start making more sense, because they influence Descartes, and they're going to influence the rationalists, the empiricists, and so anyways.
I actually have a question real quick. If Kevin is still listening, I'm curious, since you used to be a Protestant and then you converted to Orthodoxy, I'm curious if you if you knew much about Ockham or Nominalism and how you sort of reconciled when you converted. If he's still listening, I don't know if you know.
Yeah, it was funny because when you originally talked about we were going to talk about William of Ockham, I was like, I know that guy sounds familiar, and I'm just trying to remember why. And I do believe we had a book growing up that I read through that had a lot about him in it, and it was interesting.
Yeah, and I wonder also, would he have said, "Oh no, I believe in you guys are taking it too far, that there's
yeah, that's true,"
or did he say, yeah, you pretty much nailed me, and I don't know. So all right, so now you got to admit you at least know a little bit more about Saint Anselm, the Ontological Argument. So anybody put you on the spot? Does any one of you want to say you're in the elevator and you're going from the first floor to the 10th? You've got 30 seconds, and the lady turns to you and says, "Do you know what the Anselm's Ontological Argument is?"
What a line!
Yeah, that good. Yeah, good line. Good guys can meet girls that way, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Ontological Argument. So, Jonathan, I'll put you on the spot.
Oh gosh.
You get 20 seconds. You're in the elevator.
Ask me the question. We'll
okay, sir. I know we don't got much time. We're in the elevator, but do you know what Anselm's Ontological Argument is?
Really, what he's saying is that if you can imagine something in your head that's fantastic, if it exists in real life, it would be even greater, I think.
Ding! The door opens. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, well, that which nothing greater can be thought, right? That's the official
Yeah, I should have said
language.
that.
But he wasn't writing in English. He was writing probably in Latin. So,
that's true.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good, though. And if you can think it and imagine it, then it must exist. Yeah, okay. All right.
Wow.
Well done.
Hey, anybody have a headache?
Starts
Okay.
of one.
All right. Well, let's see. Everybody, any other comments before we move on? Because you know where we're headed.
Kevin gone,
right?
or is he still here?
Kevin, I think people just kind of come in and they make their comment and then they leave.
Yeah,
so
to make
it's
us
just
feel
like,
good about
here's my
ourselves.
one
I
comment.
was
I'm
here,
out of here.
and now I'm gone. Yeah.
Okay.
Kevin.
And I let's see. Okay. Any other thoughts? You want to move into trivia?
Sure. Before we move into trivia, can I just remind everybody who is listening right now or watching right now that if you want to join our Back to the Father email list, that would be great. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll put the link for both of those in our comment box. But just so you can stay up to date, and on our YouTube page, I'm going to start posting little short snippets of the shows that you can like kind of refresh your brain about, like some, like for instance, like when
Just one on the ontological argument.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So that you can, don't have to find it somewhere in the show.
Oh, you know what we should do? We should have little compilations of like out of context Back to the Father.
That'd be
now I'll explain the frogs and just leave it there.
And be great. And I was just thinking, I mentioned the thing, and this is going way back to the beginning of the show. I mentioned the thing about EWTN, but we never even mentioned when you're going to be on, right?
I think I did, but it's this Sunday.
Did we say? Okay, Sunday the 23rd.
Sunday the 23rd at 8 p.m. You can watch me for 15 minutes.
And that's not this Sunday, but
Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Be sure. Set your alarm.
Oh,
all
boy.
right. We ready? You want to introduce this?
It is now that time of the show where we give Dave and our listeners Summa to think about, and Dave gives it right back.
Just Dave.
All right. Sam, did you come?
I am prepared.
You are prepared.
I actually am.
You want to go
very
first,
prepared.
since we may never see you again?
Yeah.
We want to
It would be
make
an
sure we
honor.
get you in before the show ends.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's an honor. Okay. So you know how in the Catholic Church there are monthly devotions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I basically Googled them all.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Monthly devotions?
Like we don't need to do every single one.
It's like there's certain months that are dedicated to certain devotions.
I'm gonna like 2.
Can I go first?
So are you going to just say, what's January,
well,
you mean?
No. I just have like the Catholic encyclopedia. Hey, don't look at my encyclopedia.
Okay.
So I have them. If you guys want to just go for whichever one.
Okay, October. Rosary.
Oh, come on.
It'll take a second to scroll.
Let me have my moment, okay?
March is.
Oh, you got it. Okay. You want to go next?
Yeah.
Thank you.
March, I think it's St. Joseph.
You are correct.
Wow.
May.
Oh, wait. Well, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think it's just every man for himself, right?
All right. May is Our Lady.
Yes.
All
right.
Okay. Wait. Is November Souls?
Wait.
Oh, yeah. Of course it is. Yeah.
June is
The beaches.
Beaches Pride.
yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Pride.
Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
Sacred Heart. Yes, it
very
is. Oh,
good.
I knew that one too. I don't know why I didn't say it.
December, the birth of our Lord.
Okay, it does not have.
Oh man.
Wait,
I'll just assume.
wait.
Okay. I still get a clap, even though
it's
even
Advent.
wrong answers get a clap, right?
It's- yeah.
No judgment here. Everyone gets a participation award.
Yeah.
Everyone does get one.
Okay.
I got another one.
I
So
kind of
there's
am
other
out of
ones?
ideas, guys.
Okay, can I go then?
Okay,
Yeah,
by the
go.
way, Kevin responded.
Yeah, he said this is brand new to me. Sorry, John.
Oh man. Okay, cool.
Well, now he's learned more.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't no, yeah.
Okay.
Bully
okay,
Kevin.
Why don't you,
He's growing as a man, so that's good.
have we guessed January yet?
Are we done?
Wait, I got one more.
I
mean, I'm pretty
April is Divine Mercy, isn't it?
I don't have April.
Are you going to do January?
Yeah, we need
Oh, I have
January.
no idea. January is something. Is it Holy Family?
No, Our Lady.
Our Lady.
No.
Holy Family.
Mom.
No.
It's always Our Lady. When in doubt, Our Lady.
Oh, January, like the January 1st is our
The
Mary
month
Mother
of
of
January.
God.
Month
It
of
is
January.
true, but that's
Oh
not January.
no! It's the thing. It's the
thing.
Thanks, John.
baptism.
No.
Oh.
Okay,
When
what?
he was baptized.
It's the holy name.
The holy name?
Yeah.
There's a lot of
name of
noises
Holy
going
name of
on.
Jesus.
What's
Okay.
the question? Say the question again, guys.
Wait, Margie,
What exactly it is that you're asking, Sam?
July,
Some people on the
August.
comments want to know.
What is
January's like
what is
monthly
it every month
devotion.
devoted to?
Yeah.
What is every month of the year devoted
We've already
to?
gotten May. Oh, August.
Did we do August?
We didn't do August.
Saint Augustine.
Well, there's
You
the
need-
Feast of the Assumption.
Okay, the other ones
right?
I have.
Oh,
July and September. are the other ones.
September is the
Immaculate.
Nativity of Our Lady.
Nativity of Our Lady, yeah.
It's like the whole month. I mean,
Yeah, you need
yeah.
that.
I've got.
yeah, that's true.
I am out of ideas for everything,
Okay.
guys.
Yeah, you want to tell us
Or do
the
Okay,
ones, the other
September
ones?
is Seven Sorrows of Mary.
Oh, I
Okay.
didn't know that. Man.
July is the Precious Blood.
Oh, okay.
Crowd goes
I
wild.
think that's the last one. I
Is
think
that
we
it?
got all. The,
No, nothing for January?
no, January was the most holy name.
What's
of God.
February
my
then? Is
bad.
February just devotionless?
I don't know. Some of them
Love.
Are not.
The month of love.
Yeah.
All right.
Ta-da.
Okay.
Fantastic.
All right.
My
Thank you,
turn.
Sam.
Yeah,
You went out with a bang.
Yeah.
Good job.
literally.
Good job.
I have one that
One
Sissel-
question.
Yes, the Sissel is
Not
got.
allowed to answer. I already got it before the
But
show.
you guys, I highly doubt you're gonna be able to get it.
All right.
What famous American politician went to the shrine in Guadalupe, looked at the painting and said, "Who painted that?" To which the priest replied, "God."
That's so easy.
Yeah, see, Jonathan, I was like,
You seriously?
wait, let's see it. Let's see if
I know it. Okay.
I know it is. I answered it earlier.
You don't?
You don't
okay.
know.
Ha.
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Whatever.
Jonathan forgets that we're older than
know.
him sometimes,
And we actually
that
follow the news. And
that I was also at our latest.
But it's a great story, though.
Yeah, I just learned about it a little while ago.
Jonathan's like, well, if I just learned about it, everyone else must be new to it
Well,
too.
I just assumed.
if I didn't know, no one could know.
Because I am the objective standard of knowledge.
Obviously, clearly.
All right. Thanks, Jonathan. But we shouldn't give him a hard time because remember he used to not have anything. So
That's
now
true. That's
at
true.
least
We're
You
improved.
came prepared.
We're
At least he brought a
improving
question.
little by little.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess you want me to go next?
I guess I do. Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if you did. Usually you like to go last.
I guess I think you should go next. So yeah.
Please, my brain already hurts.
It's layered, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask one question that's going to be first come, first serve, and then after that we're going to go.
Bible related.
It's Bible related, always.
And how many questions total?
And then it's going to be ultimately 10 more.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
I just ruined my question.
This one.
Oh my goodness. Is that it?
How many plagues did God send to Egypt, guys? Don't ask me questions that confuse me, Dave.
There could be, what are they?
Yeah, so we're going to go, I think instead of just shouting them out, let's go around in a circle until someone can't get one anymore, okay?
All right.
So we'll start with Sam. You have the biggest variety now.
And I'm writing them down. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
This is in the Bible.
That's not a good sign, Sam. That
Come on,
none
man.
of them come to your mind right off the bat.
Locusts?
Locust, yes, that's one.
Okay, that is
Ding,
one.
ding, ding, ding.
All right. Frogs.
Mm-hmm.
Which that wouldn't be a bad plague. I wouldn't mind
Okay,
that
the
one.
river turning to blood.
Yes. Okay, Sam.
Okay, in my defense, that was sort of on my mind. Now I'm drawing a blank.
I'm writing down.
There's 7 more. I'm also bolding them, so I got them. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
If you can't get one, I guess you're knocked out of a.
Yeah,
you
you're knocked out of
me out.
Yeah, you're knocked
contention,
out.
yeah. So we got 3 so far. Are you out, Sam?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Well, if I'm correct, the final plague was the killing of the children,
Yes.
right?
First. Oh, killing of which child?
The firstborn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, firstborn. Wow, you're going right to the end, huh?
So I want to make sure I get all the ones I know first.
I'm gonna say one of them was like gnats.
It's lice, but I'll take it.
Lice.
Ooh,
Okay.
that'd be horrible.
All right.
Lice, like in your hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't
all
it serpents? Wasn't that one?
Serpents. Oh wow. So does that mean if I get one, I'm the champion?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to get them all. No, I'm just kidding.
Wasn't like boils on the skin?
Mm-hmm. That's one.
Okay.
Let's see how many you can get, Dave, before you run out.
Okay, so the boils in the skin. You got the frogs. You got the locusts. You got the blood in the water.
2 are kind of weather related.
Okay. Okay.
Oh no.
Now you think of it.
It wasn't rain.
No.
It was weather related. I don't know. I don't know what they are.
One was darkness.
Oh, darkness. Okay.
Darkness. And then the other one.
Not weather, by the way.
Okay, well, it had to do with the sky. All right. I was just saying it's something that, like, you would go outside and be
No,
like,
see,
oh,
I'm a meteorology snob.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never knew that
He
about
never,
you, Dave.
he studied
Meteorology has to be basically
Yeah, he
things
was a
that,
weatherman.
things that fall from the sky.
You
like
were a weatherman?
earthquakes are not meteorology.
You were
not
behind
weather.
the
Wait,
camera.
Yeah,
Wait.
hi there.
Wait, were you actually
I was a weatherman.
That's so
Really?
cool.
Yeah.
See, this is why I succeed. No, here at the office, I know these things. Okay, so no, this one actually genuinely is weather for the weather snob. Bad weather. We get here in Texas quite a lot, actually.
Oh, hail.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, and now there's 2 that are involve creatures.
Well, the frogs were creatures.
Yeah, not
Then
that one.
that's,
2 others. These are the 2 I will say. These are the 2 that I don't think come to my mind
Oh,
at all, really.
Yeah.
One of them did. One of them I completely forgot when I was coming up with this until I
Okay,
looked it
can
up.
I just throw a random?
Sure.
Okay, didn't it rain fish or rain? It rained something that was like an animal.
No.
Okay, I thought it did.
But that would have been interesting.
That would have been interesting.
Yep, Kevin had got the hail, by the way.
Yeah, we did.
good job,
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Kevin's giving a hint.
Oh, wait. Complete darkness upon the, hail, John, cattle and livestock died.
Yes.
Okay.
There was an illness, a plague came upon all the
Yeah.
livestock. And then there's one more, guys, and this was the one that I really did not remember,
What's that?
which was wild animals came and like knock things, like just came running through the
Really?
Egypt. Yeah.
Oof.
That's
I don't
why
remember that.
Exactly.
Did
see?
you make one up?
This is what it says.
Just
Hordes,
wild animals just running amok.
yeah, hordes of wild animals destroyed everything in their path.
Really?
Yeah, so like a stampede, like Lion King style.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, boy, that'd be kind of.
But that's the one that also didn't like register in my brain. But that's bad. That's not good.
Which one would terrorize? Which one would make you the most afraid?
The
Which one the
hardest.
most?
I'd like the frogs.
I'd like that
Frogs,
too.
I
That'd
think
be cool.
frogs
Kinda
I could
fun.
deal with, and I guess you probably get used to the locusts. I would say the ones that, the blood in the water thing would be a little unnerving.
With the
I
darkness
think.
too.
The darkness would creep me out.
Darkness
yeah.
would be disturbing, but then again, there's places on the earth where that happens.
Yeah, but I mean,
anyway.
not-
so.
And the animals run all over the place.
But,
I mean,
let's be real, though, the death of the firstborn would be the worst.
were the
Well,
animals
yeah.
like mean animals, or were
I
they
don't,
like?
maybe they were just all like crazy.
It'd be kind of fun if it was chickens and stuff.
Oh
you know?
yeah, that'd be great. I'd like that.
Yeah.
I just catch them.
I don't know if I'd be chased by a bunch of chickens. They wouldn't probably knock much over.
Hey, look, I've been chased by a bunch of chickens.
You
Particularly
have.
aggressive chickens.
Are we going back to that?
I know.
All right,
That's what I'm talking
let me go ahead and get to mine. Thank you, sister.
And by the way,
That's a-
Buddy got most of them.
Oh, he did.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. See, it's easy when he's off and off in
Buddy land.
cyberspace and and then you don't have to sit here and actually we
And
need to
Jonathan-
have Buddy in studio with us.
That'd be
sometime. Wouldn't that be
amazing.
great?
yeah.
Also, he said that you said, Jonathan, it was just a politician. It wasn't a president. It was just a politician, right?
I said politician, yeah.
politician.
Yeah,
Okay,
you say a
but it was-
famous politician.
Yep.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she qualifies as that.
Oh, we
Okay.
actually, real quick, Dave, before you go to yours, we have one final question from Kevin regarding our topic, which is, are the ontological argument and the nominalism nature theology related?
Okay, so our ontological argument and nominalism, no, I don't think directly. No, these are just two
Easy answer.
Well, they both have to do with epistemology, like knowledge. So I think all philosophy is related somehow, but I didn't intend those topics to be related. That's not why I picked those. It's just one was right before Aquinas and one was right after, and they both were something that Thomas would not have agreed with.
We need to have a show. I don't know if we already did or not, but we need to have another show on natural theology or natural law.
Natural law?
Yeah, because Kevin doesn't agree with it.
Oh, didn't I tell you this? Well, I did a presentation to a philosophy forum Tuesday night this week, and they were not necessarily religious
I remember
people.
that. I remember that.
And I told Sissel that because I talked about the four laws, Thomas's four laws: eternal, natural, human law, and divine law. And boy, so many of them really got upset about natural law.
Yeah.
So we could do a show on natural law. Now, we did a show on the four laws, so didn't
Yeah,
we?
we did,
Yeah,
but we didn't ever
we can go in
dedicate
depth.
one show to each of them.
Specifically natural law.
We kind of just broke them over, I think.
Get ready,
each show.
Kevin.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Stand by. Wow.
Yeah, Kevin said he'd
We
watch.
do love all of our watchers. Even.
We love him so much we call you out individually.
Yes.
Well, he's my friend.
That's
I can
how
do that.
small our audience is.
Yes.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is this is about philosophers.
Oh dear.
And and all you gotta say is what country were these famous
that's
philosophers
easy.
born in?
Okay, he says that's easy, but
it's just
I
always
so
Germany.
I'm gonna start off easy.
Okay.
And whoever says it first gets the point. Okay, feel free to play along at home. Okay, so start off easy. Thomas Aquinas.
Italy.
All
I
right,
should have just said it
Jonathan.
out. I just hesitated.
Didn't somebody beat you last week? Didn't Jonathan beat you last
No,
week?
we tied.
No, we tied.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There will not be a tie this week. Okay. Now I gave you this answer earlier in the show. If you were paying attention, William of Ockham.
Austria. No.
No.
I told you.
Germany. I'm just gonna call out random countries that I don't remember.
Was it
Anybody at home?
Oh wait! Let me go back to the PowerPoint.
You will get. Wouldn't that be funny if somebody out there?
I'm watching because Buddy.
won
He's a
this
couple.
game?
He's a couple.
That'd be
Honestly,
hilarious.
that would just be a sign of the times.
Yeah,
but
William of Ockham. So nobody.
hold on a second. Hold on.
Nobody
Give
remembers.
us a
Switzerland.
chance. Hold on a second. Also, give us a chance for Buddy to say something.
Well,
You can't look it up online. I mean, come on.
You literally have the little PowerPoint
Okay.
up too and everything.
Sorry, I have got to move on. William
Oh,
of
no.
You're looking at something, Jonathan.
No.
It's either France or England.
It's England.
France.
England.
Buddy had to guess France
No,
as well, but yeah.
you don't get that one.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I wasn't
and
looking.
I said this one as well. Saint Anselm.
Austria. Because why
No,
not? I'm just
England.
throwing England.
England.
France.
What?
That was France, Italy, France.
England.
You guys were not
Austria.
paying
No, we
attention.
were not.
No,
He's from Italy.
concept.
He's from Italy.
You also
I
just
said
heard our
Italy.
brain after you
But
gave
remember,
us
I
that.
said he was the Archbishop of Canterbury.
Yeah, so I thought
But I said,
England.
oh, that's kind of odd because he wasn't from it.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh.
You did say
Okay.
that.
Wait.
All right. Now some of these are pretty easy, so get ready. You ready? So right now, if you're counting at home, Jonathan has 1, Sissel has 0, and Sam has 0. Okay. Aristotle.
Greece.
Oh, I think Jonathan got
Yeah,
it.
he got it a second.
Stagira, Greece, to be specific.
Okay.
Okay, this one's a little bit harder. I'll be pretty lenient on this. St. Augustine.
Oh, Egypt.
I'll take it. It was actually Thagast, which is modern-day Algeria, but he was from Northern Africa.
Okay.
So you got that one, okay? So this one you're getting
I am.
buried
You know, we got to stick to Bible things and I'll be good.
Yeah, all right.
Buddy
so,
got the Greece, by the way. Or no, Greece. What was I talking about? Never mind. We're talking about
somebody said
yes.
Spain. So,
Spain,
okay,
yeah.
Rene Descartes.
Oh, France.
San Cicero, very good.
Howie.
I'm on
Yeah.
board.
Okay.
I'm on board.
You know, you may find this interesting. He was born in a city called Descartes, France. So no, they didn't name the city after him, but it's kind of like Thomas, Aquino.
Yeah.
So that wasn't his last name. His last name wasn't Descartes. It's where he was from.
Okay, I thought it was okay. That makes sense.
Okay, Immanuel Kant.
Oh, Kant. Germany.
All right, Cecil.
Yeah.
Very
Dang.
good. Königsberg, Germany. He never left the city of Königsberg, Germany his entire life.
That's interesting
That's
for a
kinda cool.
philosopher to not want to see the
never
world
went
at all.
within 5 miles of his house.
Yeah,
they say.
I never want to leave Anna. That's what right now is just torture.
I was gonna say, like, Jonathan, I hate to
You're
break
right,
it to
you're
you, my
outside of
dear.
Anna right now.
You left Anna.
If I had my
he-
way, I'd never leave.
Okay, so Cecil has now.
Buddy
moved-
got the last two right, by the way.
Oh, he did. Okay. Is
I
he
think he's
on-
currently
is he on
winning.
YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, he's on Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. Okay, I can never get to the comments on. Maybe if I click.
Yeah,
comments.
I have to refresh on my laptop.
Okay, so Buddy is tied with Cecil for second place, but Jonathan is still in the
Yeah,
lead.
that's right.
Okay, Friedrich Nietzsche.
Germany.
Good.
I mean, it's all going to be Germany, I guess.
All right, he was from Rockin, Lutzen, Germany.
Rockin' Lutzen.
Try to say that five
Oh,
times
yeah.
fast.
If I was from Rockin, Lutzen, man, I'd never leave.
Yeah.
I'm like Rockin, Lutzen.
All right, you're rocking
Okay. Now this one is a two-parter.
Okay.
By the way, we're tied now. Did Buddy get that one?
He did.
Okay. Karl Marx.
Germany. Austria.
It's a tie. Oh, you ruined it.
No, I'm joking. I said Germany.
But okay, it's a tie, so nobody gets a point. Where is Karl Marx buried?
In Russia.
No.
I
wonder if
Poland, actually.
anybody knows
No
this.
clue.
Is it Poland?
Yeah,
Is anywhere near where he was born?
He was born in Trier, Germany, but he lived in a different country much of his life.
Because
He lived in a different country. He's buried. Does anybody know this?
it's either China or
Lithuania.
Poland.
No. He is. He's
Austria.
He's born in London. He's buried in London, England.
weird.
That's so random.
Yeah.
I thought he was buried in the Red Wall near
I'm
Stalin.
just throwing names out.
No.
Like
okay,
Victor guessed the United States. That would have been interesting.
Okay. We're down to our last three.
Okay.
Cecil has 3. Jonathan has 3. Buddy has, I think, 3. Let's just say
has-
that.
Sam is here.
I don't know where these guys are born.
Yeah.
It's okay, Sam. It's okay.
Georg Hegel.
Austria.
Austria. Dang it.
No.
Germany.
Cecil got it. Come on. Cecil, yes.
I like how we both were like Austria.
I know. I was like,
Too many
where did that
Germans.
come
We gotta go
from?
Austrian.
I must.
Yes.
We're both Austrian, so we wanted to make
Stuttgart,
sure.
Germany is where he was born. Okay, we're down to our last 2, neither of which are from Germany. So don't just scream out Germany. Okay. Here we go. The famous Enlightenment philosopher Voltaire.
France.
Austria.
France. Yes.
Come on, the name.
I
We
know.
are now in the enviable position of having a deadlock tie with one question to go.
I just want to let the people know that we did not
Okay.
throw this in to make it that exciting.
Okay,
It just happened.
It just happened. Sometimes life just is exciting, okay? All right, so with all the marbles on the line, and this is not an easy one, okay? We're going to see who gets this right. And I'm going to say Sam, if he gets this right, he wins.
Wait. Do you want to have a gentleman's duel here where we all kind of think of our answer and then
Yeah, then I can ask you.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, right. Then, but you have to say it out at the same time.
Yeah, but
Right.
not
Okay.
so it's
Okay,
not like
thank
we
you.
just erase.
All right,
We
here
get
it
it.
is. The famous philosopher, existentialist, Christian philosopher, Soren Kierkegaard.
I
Okay.
think I know this actually.
I think-
Soren Kierkegaard.
I-
Now, Cecil's looking at the screen.
I believe I
Oh, I'm looking at the
She thinks
comments.
Buddy is going to be
Yeah,
her.
I'm hoping he will.
Okay.
Can he not?
Let's
Is
see,
he not allowed to? No,
remember
I'm
they can go online and check this.
I think I actually know this.
okay,
or I
so-
have an idea.
So I'm
Yeah, I have an
gonna
idea.
say you need to say the answer in 3 seconds. Okay, here we go.
right.
Let's say it out loud. 1, 2, 3.
Denmark.
Norway.
Denmark.
Norway.
Copenhagen, Denmark.
Wait, what did you all say?
Norway.
But
What did you say?
I kind of stuttered.
You were in Scandinavia, at least. I mean,
Yeah,
I
so
thought you said something in Scandinavia too, didn't you?
No.
No, you didn't. Okay.
I didn't really say anything.
That's well, that was like the classic comeback. You were down 3-0.
Well, okay, I did like do. Yeah.
Now,
Random things.
Mr. Anna Chicken Boy over here has got to go back to Anna and think about this for a week.
I'm gonna go sit on a stump and think about some things for a little while. Smoke my corncob pipe.
From Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah.
Well, don't ask me why that bit of high school philosophy stuck with me.
It's impressive.
That little bit.
Soren Kierkegaard. Now, Soren kind of sounds...
Kierkegaard definitely sounds Scandinavian.
Yeah.
You just don't know. I just didn't know where. I was originally thinking Sweden, but then I was like, no.
No, it sounds it's more Western.
Yeah, so I was like, no.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody. Sam, we may not see you for a while.
Yeah.
But
maybe not.
We should have had like a going away.
I hope
dun,
maybe
dun.
not.
For he's a jolly good fellow.
For he's a jolly good fellow.
For he's a jolly good fellow.
Which
nobody
can
can
deny.
What the heck happened there?
Okay.
I am so sorry, Sam.
No. Thank you.
That's all right. Sam, you're always invited back, okay? So
Thanks.
just let us know. And thank you to Victor and Kevin and,
Clint
of
was here
course,
earlier, I
Buddy, Clint, David L. Gray, of course, Victor, I mentioned him, Mandel. Oh, did you see this? Mandel Jezio. I wonder where Mandel Jezio is from. That's an interesting name. Okay, thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week. We'll have a new topic. Thanks to Diane for handling the phones and all that's going on behind the scenes. Okay, this is Back to the Father. We'll see you next week, same time, same location. God bless you.
Thanks for joining us for Back to the Father. And don't forget, the glory of God is the human person fully alive. If you have comments about the show, email Dave Palmer at grnonline.com.